There goes nothing. Let's see if the stream is working. Seems like the stream is working. Hello. Welcome to Advent of Code 2023, Day 1 and 2 with Raimu. I need to catch up because I have not done Day 1. Day 2 is in 51 minutes. So I'm going to do it in Rust again today, this year, at least today. And I want to set up the environment so that we can quickly add new days as we go. I'm structuring the workspace as a single project, library project with just tests. I assume that it's just going to stay tests unless the days have any code in common. Like one year there was a int code interpreter. So each day would leverage previous days, and if we have anything that is going to be leveraged from day to day, we're going to put it in the common library. So I think what I want to do is make a... Now, is it test or tests? I don't know. Let's go look and see what I've been calling it. Something that has tests. Ingestion has tests, right? Tests. All right. This will have config test mod tests, right? Okay. Tests. New file. Here called tests.rs mod day 1 day 1.rs paste. I don't think we need to say day 1 part 1. We'll just say part 1. All right. Cool. Maybe we should just assert success. I think not. All right. We're going to have a day 1 and a day 2 today. So why don't we just get that all squared away? Tests. Mod day 2. What? Belong to. Don't show this again. Okay. The run. Whoa. Why do we have 2 things there? All right. Cargo next test run. Cool. All right, we're all set up to go. Perfect. So, catching up. Haven't done day 1. We have 47 minutes to do day 1. So, actually, let me back up a little bit. What is Advent of Code? It's an adventofcode.com made by Eric Wassel. He makes Advent of Code. So it's an advent calendar, small programming puzzles for a variety of skill sets and skill levels. And that's, varies by year to year. Some years are incredibly difficult, other years not so much, in my opinion. Anyway, people use them as interview prep. Hey there, meme clear BAMs. Company training, university coursework, practice problems, speed contests, or to challenge each other. So I kind of see it as problem solving contest or challenge, not a coding challenge. So, as long as you can solve the problem using some kind of computer program, then you'll have fun and you'll learn something. So, it's basically designed so that you have to solve a problem, but it would be extraordinarily difficult to do it by hand without a computer. We're using the computer basically to execute the solution that we come up with to every problem. And they are Christmas themed. I don't know if it says that here or not, but you get one set of problems each day of the month of December. And they unlock at midnight Eastern Time, United States, so UTC -5. And so we're on like 45 minutes away from midnight on December 2nd, so that means we are behind by a day. The puzzles for day 1 unlocked a day ago, and the day 2 is going to unlock in 45 minutes. So I got like 45 minutes if I wanted to start day 2 on time to finish day 1. Hey there, 85 Filter. Yeah, I'm going to stick with Rust again because, like I was saying, I see it as more of a problem-solving contest, not a coding problem-solving challenge, not a coding challenge. So I don't think really the programming language really matters so much as the problem-solving aspect of it. All right, let's just dive straight into it. Day 1, Trebuchet? Something is wrong with global snow production, and you've been selected to take a look. The elves have even given you a map. On it, they've used stars to mark the top 50 locations that are likely to be having problems. You've been doing this long enough to know that to restore snow operations, you need to check all 50 stars by December 25th. Collect stars by solving puzzles. 2 puzzles will be made available on each day of the advent calendar, so December 1st to the 25th. The second puzzle is unlocked when you complete the first, so you get 2 per day. Each puzzle grants 1 star. Good luck. You try to ask why they can't just use a weather machine, not powerful enough, and where they're even sending you, the sky, and why your map looks mostly blank. You sure ask a lot of questions. And hang on, did you just say the sky? Of course. Where do you think snow comes from? You realize that the elves are already loading you into a trebuchet. Please hold still. We need to strap you in. As they're making the final adjustments, they discover that their calibration document, your puzzle input, has been amended by a very young elf, who is apparently just excited to show off her art skills. Consequently, the elves are having trouble reading the values on the document. The newly improved calibration document consists of lines of text. Each line originally contained a specific calibration value that the elves now need to recover. On each line, the calibration value can be found by combining the first digit and the last digit, in that order, to form a single 2-digit number. For example, 1ABC2, PQR3STU8VWX. So we get the first digit and the last digit, 1, 2, 3, 8, 2, 5, right? No, 1, 5. I missed their 1 there. 1, 5, and 7, 7 because 7's also the last one. Ha, tricky. And then we add them together to get our answer. So I'm going to take this. I forgot that we're going to have 2 things per part, right? Why don't I just yeah, just like I think I've done this in the previous years. We start off with like the input being the example, and then we get the solution working with the example answer, and then we replace it with our real puzzle input. So we're going to let input equal if I can do this correctly. There we go. Okay, and assert equal 142 to be the answer to part solve. Input. Hey there, Nightshade dude. And dude man, how are you doing? Part two took you a while? Well, part one's usually like um really easy, right? So I got another 32 minutes. I think I got plenty of time. I'm just trying to decide how I want to structure this. I guess I guess I want to do it like this. We'll have day one here and a day one. Oh, I didn't mean to make that a folder. Deleted. Day up, not under tests. You'll have to put up with my bumbling around, unfortunately. Solve. Actually, I guess we don't really need solve. A number, right? U32. As much as I hate it. 142. I'm totally cheating. Actually, I don't even need to return. Okay, how do we want to structure this? Like, that just works, right? Okay. Hey, look, we got the right answer. The example is not clear enough, in your opinion. You mean part one or part two? You're talking about part two, right? Well, hold your horses. Let me get to part two. All right. So I did not solve it correctly. And I could test that theory by how? Putting my own puzzle input in there. I don't know what I was thinking there. Um, yeah, we're definitely can't use test-driven development here because we don't know what the answer of the puzzle is. We're supposed to come up with that information. All right, so let's imagine that we have a utility that gives us like the lines from the input. And we're going to say that the answer is the lines of the input into iter map line and then add them. Mapping the line. Let's do map. So what they're asking us to do, right? Which is combine first last digit. Combine first last digit. Okay, so that's not going to compile for a couple of reasons. We don't have something called lines. So I think this is going to be useful to reuse, so I'm going to put it in lib. We're going to have a function lines that takes an input, which is conveniently exactly the same thing that we had before, and gives us some kind of iteration. I can just say impl iterator, right? Where I can close this now. Item equals the static string. I can't do that because it doesn't let me. Because to do doesn't. I thought the to do would fill in. I guess because it doesn't know what to fill in. All right, so we have to at least do something here. Let's do input dot split on um, new line. All right. Can I just use lines on string slices? I don't know. Is that what this does? I can never remember that stuff. Import lines from create lines. There we go. All right, we don't have combined first and last digit. Let's make it. So it's going to take a line and give us back AU32 to do. Seeing the minimum I can type to get to make it work. So add. I thought there was something with an iterator to add together. Is it sum? Yes, it's sum. All right. What's the issue here? Useless conversion because it is an iterator. Exactly. All right. And then what's the problem here? Probably that I did not make this convert. Was it snake case? All right. Okay. So the line. We got into the meat of it, right? So we have to find the first and the last number. So let's just break this down as if we like pretending that we actually have these functions. So it's going to be first digit of line plus or concatenate. It's going to be that times 10, right? Plus last digit line, right? So those don't exist. So let's make those. Watch me struggle with my damn keyboard. I'll get faster. I'm a little rusty. Ha ha ha. All right, first digit. I think this is not so hard. We can do a line dot iter or line dot cares dot can we just do a find C where C is numeric, right? And then unwrap that and then I want to convert from a character to a digit. I think I want to do it as I want to take the difference between that and 0. Cannot subtract a character. Uh, Wait. Can't subtract a character from a character? Oh, shoot. Why don't I not remember how to do this? Is it that we have to convert it to a number and then subtract? Well, I happen to know that 0 is 30. It's not 32, it's 48, right? But I got ahead of myself, right? So that's maybe another function. Um, Char. Actually, why can't I just do a parse? Can't parse a character? Really? Huh. I have to convert to a slice first? Well, how inconvenient is that? Well, maybe just keep what I had before. Do you have to make it a string? I was thinking like, why do I have to make it a string? So this should just be reversed, right? All right, let's see if I got it. I did not get it. It panicked. It did not find a number. It's possible that my split is not good. So, I might have to split on that. 17. Okay, we got 17. Why did we get 17? Let's close some of these things that are getting in my way. So, can I just DBG the whole thing? Oh, I see. You took that one and that 7, so it didn't split it at all. Didn't split it at all. So my split is not working. I might have to go and find what the lines that's built into slice and just use that. I thought I'd be clever and write it myself, but obviously it's not working. Yeah, okay, so can I just do lines on this thing? Yeah, I mean that just works. Sort of lame, but that's fine. Okay, why is this not working? Why is the button not working? To close it? There it goes. Still not getting a number here. What if I do debug here? That's weird. Sometimes the button is just failing until I open the file again. Empty line. Okay. That makes sense. So let's have lines skip blank lines. So filter line is empty, not. See how clever I was? I can customize it. Okay, cool. So we got down to the last one, which has a bunch of nothing in it. Okay, so then it has to the filter has to be a little bit more elaborate. If line is empty, turn false. If line actually, don't we just want to say line dot like trim is empty? So really it's just line trim, not line trim is empty. I think that's all I want to have. Cool. Okay, passed. So I think I can get rid of my debug prints. Let's get rid of those debug prints. I don't like this. I'd rather like put that into a function. I got time, right? I got like 27 minutes. 2-digit 10 apparently for the care. Okay, we'll try that. So I just want to make a function for it, right? So this is like digit char, parse digit char, right? Parse char as digit. Let's see. So we have a char, and we expect to get a U32 out, and the thing that we know works is just C as U32 minus 48, right? So then I can take these ones and say just parse char as digits, right? All right, and then this should still pass, right? Okay, now we're saying that instead of doing C as U32 48, we can just do C 2-digit 10 unwrap. And that also works. Now, if I was like a big time Twitch entertainer, I would have Twitch vote on which one we should do. But I don't think it really matters, right? I kind of like my approach better because no unwrap is needed. I think this is more hardcore. We're going to go with that. Because, you know, we already did a check to make sure it was a digit, right? So we should be good. We already did our deadly unwraps. All right. So time to get our real input. Here's where I think I want to have a file. So let's decide where to put these files. I guess I guess I want to have it next to the day1.rs, day1 input, right? Okay, and then here's where we're going to get our input. Get my puzzle input. Paste. There, we got 1,000 lines. All right, so on the real test here, I could keep the example, right? Does it? It doesn't really. No, we don't want to do it that way. I think I don't want it to be a test. Maybe I don't even need this. Want this to be a library, right? Shoot. How do I want to do this? I guess, you know, it's super convenient to have this as a test, so it's just that I don't know what to put for the assert here. I guess we'll just make it 0, and let's call this example. What am I doing? Example. Example input. Real input. What was that? It was like include bytes, include string, // day1 input. Okay, and then real input. Okay, and there's our number. Let's just see if it's right. Close, please. Paste, submit. Hey, that's the right answer. You got 1 gold star. Yay! This reminds you of crafting interpreters. You're shocked and offended. Be like me and over-engineer it into a workspace. I already feel like I'm over-engineering it. I was just thinking, like, it doesn't really fit as a test. It should be like it's fine for the test. The unit test is fine because we know what expected and the actual is computed from that. But this doesn't feel right to just tack it onto the test. Like, it should just be it should just I think this thing should just be a program. And then like I guess we would ask it, what if I just craft this to be a program instead of a library? All we need to do is call it main.rs. Now we have to have a main. Um, totally forget what main has. Does it have any arguments? I don't remember. I think this is the format of it. We we're obliged to do a hello world, right? Yeah, okay. And then let's pull in the clap. Let us grab clap. Well, I don't need to look this up. Can I just go to the cargo toml and just say we want clap? And let's assume it's 1.0. What version is it really? 4.4. Okay. 4.4. Actually, I already know that the this format is not something that will work for us. I think I need to have like a version equal and all polite Rust cargo tomls have spaces there, right? And then is it comma? Features, because don't we want to have like derive there? I don't know. Shouldn't I just have the other window have my data disintegrator? We should just copy what I had for ingest. Where are you, ingest? Ingest. Yeah, so it was features derive. Features derive. Yeah, see, I did it first try. And then I can also just copy this, right? So we kind of just want one of these with some arguments right there. Okay, so the arguments I want are the day and the part. Okay, and then uh, we want args equals args parse, and then match args day 1. Don't we just want to? We're always going to get a number for the answer, right? So why don't we just say let the answer equal, and then this just calls the day 1 part 1. Well, I have to do a match on the part, right? Trying to think, do I want to over engineer this right now or wait until later? I think we'll just over engineer it later. So day 1 part 1. Okay, so the input. Right, well, that we know what that is. That is um if we include it here, we'll get it, right? So from here, let the input equal that, and we have the day 1 input. Okay, and then 2, let's just say everything else is I don't know. And then why am I having this be 2 separate matches? Why don't we just make this one match? Right? Because then we can just say everything else and say do like print line. Actually, let's do was it print line? Forget how this works. You have to say like standard error here or something. I forget. Invalid or unknown unknown day part combination. This goes away. Oh, hold on. Don't I just want to do anyhow? Anyhow, see what version that's on. Is it 1.0 really? Did I guess that first try? Yes, it is. Okay, cool. Sorkenheimer has rated me with 24 lovely people. Hello, I'm getting set up to do Avena Code Day 2. I'm on Day 1. I'm catching up. I have done Part 1, and I am reorganizing my main program here so that it looks a little bit respectable. Not completely respectable, but getting there. Why am I having an error here? Cannot derive clap. Probably because I have other problems here. Yeah, so anyhow result. And then this should just say anyhow. And then a question mark. And then we'll do an OK here. But I need a semicolon there. And what's going on here? I need to use the anyhow. So use anyhow. Can only be applied to values that implement try. But that's why I had it return that. What am I doing wrong here that it doesn't like this? Cannot find derived macro parser in this scope. Do I need to use something in the main program here? I do. I need to do that. Okay. Cool. Now it's somewhat happy, although I was still wrong here. Is it because there's a semicolon there? Probably not. Feel like that return value is not correct. No, that is correct. I wanted to just bail out. I guess we can't do that. Why can't I do that? Returning result. Why can't I just bail? What's the plugin that gives you cargo tumble check marks? I think it was cargo. Actually, yeah, we would be able to see it if we just looked under extensions, right? Yeah, I think it's this crates plugin. Yep. That's exactly what it is. It's the crates plugin. I wanted to bail nicely, not panic. I wanted to actually return it. So I guess what I really want to do is say return anyhow error. This, right? Can I not do that? Match arm without braces. Is that the problem? I just forgot the braces on this whole thing. Grr. I really just want to do anyhow question mark. But I'm not remembering how to do this, obviously. I need to see how I did this before. Oh, you return an error with anyhow in it. Okay. Is that right? That doesn't seem right to me. That doesn't seem right to me, but it is. Um, Unneeded return would, okay. Is it that I have a semicolon there? Yes. Okay. So then, I guess we're just printing this, right? Answer to part today. Part is args day. Args part. Answer. Okay. Now that we've done that, cargo run 1-1. And let's be polite and put a period at the end. So now it's a complete English sentence. And we got our answer. All right. Now, all that ridiculous like setup just to make things a little bit easier, I don't know if it was worth it. But let's move on to part 2. I have another 10 minutes to finish this. I might not actually get this on time to do part 2 when it starts. So I might be a little bit behind. Your calculation isn't quite right. It looks like some of the digits are actually spelled out with letters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 also count as valid digits. Equipped with this new information, you now need to find the real first and last digit in each line. For example, 219 is really 29. Okay, so that's our test. Actually, hold on. Let's just call this input. We'll remove the real input. All right, and then I'm just copying the structure over and then grabbing this and pasting it here and unindenting that. And they said that that is 281. And that's day 1, part 2, which doesn't exist yet. Let's go to part 1 and say, let's copy part 1 and to part 2. So this is combine first and last digit might um, might be words. Okay. Because I'm terrible with names. First digit and last digit might be words. First digit, last digit might be words. Okay. This is obviously not going to work, right? But let's make sure this actually runs. So it's going to fail because we got a panic here because it couldn't actually find a number. That's fine. All right, so it's not that we it's if we find either a number or one of the special words, right? First. So why don't we just look for both? And if we see it, which one is the first one that matches, maybe. So let's see. Let first digit equal this. Let first digit word equal line. And here's where we have to like search for one of the special words, like find. See, this is where I'm not sure how to do this. So we just have it look for each of the special names. So declare like as a constant. So const um, I don't know, words. It's gonna want me to capitalize it like that, right? It's Static string. There are 10 of them, right? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Okay, there's 0 doesn't count, so there are only 9 of them. Okay, so I also want to have a value associated with it. So we're gonna have 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, this is definitely gonna take me too much time. I dawdled, and I'm not gonna be able to start on time. But you know, that's okay. That's okay. You'll be dipping out for AoC so you can practice do day 2. Good luck, Stripe Monkey. I'm not trying to do the leaderboard anyway. I'm just trying to do the problem solving part of this. All right. So those are our words. Let's call them digit words. All right. And so let first digit word. I think the way I want to do this is we're going to for each of the digit words, we're going to scan left to right until we find if there is one. So it'll be like I'm just thinking, if I make a function, can I reuse it between these two? I'm not sure. The first, we just definitely don't know if it's the first yet, right? So let's do we're going to have to try to look for each of these words. And I'm thinking about using the window function for this. Or can I just do a find? Matches a pattern. Okay, so it can be a string. Okay. Is there like a reverse find? Or find last? I can't remember. I don't want to look it up right now. Would you like a hint for this one or no? No, I don't want a hint. Thank you. All right, so doing too many things at once. Ultimately, it's going to be digit words because we're going to iterate all of them. Iter, and then map, word, and digit. And it's going to be like don't I want to fold these? So maybe yeah, I want to find the one that's first, right? Actually, this doesn't this is going to be filter map. Because we're going to filter out the ones where the word isn't even in there. We're going to find it's going to be a sum, and then it's going to be its position, and then the digit. So then I want to fold that, don't I? Or do I just reduce it? I think I just reduce it. Reduce position digit, and then Reduce gets two things, right? He gets two items. Yes. Okay. Position and digit. Okay. Ultimately, it's going to be one or the other, and if we have one of both, then it's the lesser of the two, right? Actually, then can I just chain these? Yeah, I can think I can just then chain it. Wait, unless it's nothing. Find returns an option, right? Can I turn an option into an iterator of one thing or nothing? I really want to know this now, so I'm gonna look it up. In Rust, how do you change an option into an iterator of one or zero items? Find, tell me what it is. Oh, so option you can just turn into an iterator. Sweet. So I can just do chain first digit into iterator. Okay, and then after I have to oh crap. The type of this is an optional character. I have to actually map that. Um, I have to do I have to do an enumerate, and then I have to find, and this is like position. Yeah, and then that matches this other. So cool. So then I just do that. And then unwrap it. And then what I get from that, so this actually, I can just put straight into there. And so what I get out is the position and the digit. And then it's just the digit. Okay. Oops. Go back. Okay, I need to fill something in here. And in here, here's the hard part, right? The find actually needs to have a map. Because we have to map it through parse chars digit. Okay. So the way we reduce is which one's which one's first. If first position is less than position, then we pick this one. Else we pick this one. All right, and then we're mapping a word to a digit by searching. So that's line dot um, care well cares enumerate window figure out how this works. Hmm. Where's my normal Rust? There it is. Window. Okay, so I take a slice and do windows over it. And it gives me an iterator. Okay, so dot windows. It's just dot windows on the line. Wait. How come it doesn't like windows? Okay, anyway, it's gonna be word dot length. How come it doesn't like windows? Primitive slice. That is a slice. Line is a slice. So why can't I call windows on it? Oh no, string is not a slice. Ah, okay, so it's not windows then. How do I get to like hmm, ask find um ask anything. What am I stuck on? In Rust, how do I um iterate over the I don't know how to ask the question. Let's just look up. STR. String slices. Thought it was one of these. I just can't remember the name of it. I guess I could just use find and rfind. Find is the first character. See, that only. Oh no, this would work. This would work. So find and rfind. Okay, so I'm not going to use Windows then. It's going to be um, line.find word, right? turns the index, and then I gotta map it in position to position and digit. And we need to dereference the digit. Wait, what? Oh, it's saying I don't need to do the into iter. That's true. We don't need that position. I think find map, you can combine the two, right? All right, all of that was really complicated. Let's repeat it again, but with going from right to left instead of left to right. So this is R find, and we chain it with R find, or reverse find. Can I not reverse and enumerate? Why can I not reverse? Oh, because it doesn't know it? Well, shoot. Well, how did I get this to work before? Is it rev enumerate find? Okay, but then this position, I have to take the length minus this, right? So like if the length was, if it was 3 characters, then instead of it being 0, it's 0, 1. So it's the length minus 1, length minus the position minus 1. So len minus position minus 1, right? All right, let's see if I got it. Ho, ho, ho. No. We're off by 1. We're close. Okay, so let's do some debugging. We are going to dbg this. Let's see what we got. All right, so oh no, it's we get 2 and 2 instead of 2 and 9 here. 8 and 8. So I think the R find isn't. Oh, I know what it is. I think I know what it is. I have this fold, this reduce right here, right? This reduce should reduce in the opposite direction. That's right. There we go. We got it. We did it. My overly complicated solution works. Let me remove the DBG. All right, and then oh, this doesn't need to be static. That's nice. Okay. Okay, so is there another set of input? Oh, so there it's the same input. Okay, cool. So then I'm only 13 minutes late. No big deal. For our main day 1 part 2 is we take day 1's input and we run part 2 on it. We get 54,100. Copy. Okay, that's right. Copy doesn't work on this thing. I have to do right click, copy, paste, submit. Woohoo! Second star. We have completed day 1. You can share this victory on Twitter or Mastodon, or return to your advent calendar. All right, so we got 2 stars. Let's move on to part 2. Cube Conundrum. You're launched high into the atmosphere. The apex of your trajectory just barely reaches the surface of a large island floating in the sky. You gently land in a fluffy pile of leaves. It's quite cold, but you don't see much snow. An elf runs over to greet you. The elf explains that you've arrived at Snow Island and apologizes for the lack of snow. He'll be happy to explain the situation, but it's a bit of a walk, so you'll have some time. They don't get many visitors up here. Would you like to play a game in the meantime? As you walk, the elf shows you a small bag and some cubes, which are either red, green, or blue. Each time you play the game, he will hide a secret number of cubes of each color in the bag, and your goal is to figure out information about the number of cubes. To get information, once the bag has been loaded with cubes, the elf will reach into the bag, grab a handful of random cubes, show them to you, and then put them back in the bag. He'll do this a few times per game. You play several games and record the information from each game, your puzzle input. Each game is listed with its ID number, like the 11 in game 11, followed by a semicolon separated list of subsets of cubes that were revealed from the bag, like 3 red, 5 green, 4 blue. For example, the record of a few games might look like this. Game 1, 3 blue, 4 red. 1 red, 2 green, 6 blue, 2 green. Okay. In game 1, 3 sets of cubes were revealed from the bag. The elf would first like to know which games would have been possible if the bag contained only 12 red cubes, 13 green cubes, and 14 blue cubes. So it's basically ruling out certain things, right? So, for example, let's see if we can figure this out. So, game 1, sure. Yes. Game 2, see, red, green, and blue, right? So that's also sure. This one, no, because it says 20 red. It's not possible. So not game 3. Here's 15 blue, not possible. So not game 4. Game 5. So it should be 1, 2, and 5, right? Only 1, 2, and 5. Yes. Game 3 would have been impossible because 20 at once, 15 at once. If you add up the IDs of the games, you get 1 plus 2 plus 5 is 8. Fair enough. Okay. Determine which games would have been possible if the bag had been loaded with only 12 cubes, 12 red, 13 green, and 14 blue. All right. So our input is going to be this huge string, right? And we got to just like filter out the game. We have to parse them and then filter out the ones that are not possible. So anytime we see more than 12 red or more than 13 green or more than 14 blue, then we rule it out. Okay, so it's a simple filter one. The hard part is the parsing. Okay, so let's have day 2 all set up here. Yes, okay. So I don't have to type it. Let's grab that, and then we'll grab this example text, paste it here. All right, and that example, it was 8. All right. Hold on. Okay, it looks clean, right? Okay, so then it's day 2, part 1 that we need. We don't have a day 2 yet. We will have a day 2, so declare a day 2. All right. Day 2, let's just I guess copy a little bit of day 1, make a day 2.rs and paste. So this is part 1. This should be enough to, okay. Let's just do a 0 here. I just want to get it to compile. All right, and then run this, should fail. Should say 0, right? Cool. All right. Yeah, so I do want the lines. and we want to filter map. And we're going to add, right? So the operation we're doing is we are mapping the line to a game ID number. And so it's going to be like, what's the word they use? Possible. Game possible. Which games would have been possible? Game possible. Yeah, fine. Really, it's two. There are two things though. Do I want to like map it first through parsing and then filter? I think I do. I want to map it first. I want to map it through and then filter. Actually, it's just going to tell me to do a filter map, isn't it? So it should just be like we would combine the filter and the map with the function object. So this is a line, and it should be game possible, and then we'll just say actually, why don't we just make a game? Game from. Actually, why don't we just say line into. Actually, if we're gonna have to say the type, we should just say the type. Game from line is possible. Actually, why don't we just make the game from a try from, and we'll have it fail if the number is out of range. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're just gonna have to have a type called game. Um, assuming that probably part two we're gonna actually need these numbers. So this is sort of a gamble, but let's assume that we're gonna need to know the red, the green, and the blue. Um, Also, I should map it a second time, shouldn't I? Or I can do a map at this point. Map a game into its ID. Yeah. So so we'll have a impl game, because I just said that I needed to have an ID that takes a game, or yeah, game, and maps it into a U32, right? And that's easy because that is just game.id. But we still need this try from, so that's impl try from string for game. Okay, the error, no errors. We don't do errors. What's the bug here? Oh, right. So, so this needs to be like an OK to turn it into an option. Great. So then the value. So here's where we got to do some parsing, right? Split on the colon first, I guess. So let game, well, ID part, and then cubes part, well, rounds, equal value dot split once. Delimiter want to offer how about go eat a dick? Let's see. Value dot split once. Uh can I just do like a question mark here? Let's see if it'll let me do that. No, it will not because wait, is split once not give me a result? Oh, it gives me an option. Then I'm gonna just say this is okay. Right. Am I forgetting my forgetting my words is what I'm doing. Forgetting my option and result translations, right? To go from option to a result is what? To go from a result to an option is okay. What's the other direction? It's okay or, and then we have to plug in an error. Okay, there we go. And it's probably telling me that can be a single character, which is correct. All right, so then right, so then with the ID part, we know that it's gotta be the number at the end. So I can just do a split prefix, right? Let ID equal. Actually, why can't I just do an ID equal ID part dot split suffix strip prefix strip prefix game space, right? Okay or, and then dot parse. Hmm. I have to do a map error. Basically to discard the error type. Still doesn't like parse. From string is not. Oh, because we haven't said what we want. We want a U32. Okay, so that works. Then we got to do the rounds, right? Wait, I only had so I think we want rounds, don't we? Round. Move that into there and then put like rounds in here. Vector of round. Okay. So then let the rounds equal. I'm gonna just straight out parse them and then we'll see if like if any of them are invalid, then we'll just return an error. Otherwise we're constructing, so we can just say game ID rounds at that point, right? So rounds is, well, this is rounds part. So here we're splitting on a semicolon and then okay, and then we're basically trimming and then splitting again on the comma, and then for each one of those we're parsing, we're splitting at a space and seeing if the word on the left is blue, red, or green, right? So then I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna we're gonna say rounds part dot split. The pattern is a semicolon, and then map to round from. This should be infallible, right? So I should be able to do a. I'll do a it's from, right? Well, I don't know. I can't remember the exact syntax of this, but if it was like round part, then it's round from round part. Assume it's infallible, and then that means as long as we have an implementation of from string for round, then this should compile. So missing members, to do is fine. We have to collect these at the end, right? Vector. Okay, why doesn't it lock? Oh, because we have to do an okay. We get all the way to the end. It's like, okay. Okay, now it's telling me it's redundant. So I can just do round from. Okay, I wasn't sure if I could do that, but apparently I can. And it's probably telling me that this can be just a character again. So there it is. Okay, so then, but this is not good enough. Well, we want to say if rounds dot iter dot any round is impossible, then error, else that. I guess it doesn't know what the type is at this point, so we have to say we're collecting into vector, right? Okay. Well, this I can just say round is impossible. As long as I have a method called is impossible. So impl round function is impossible. Borrow self immutably. Let's just say, well, we can just code it right now, right? If self.red is greater than 12. Actually, we don't even need an if. We just say it's or self.green is greater than 13, or self.blue is greater than 14. Okay, and then still got to do the parsing. We're not using round, that's fine. I think we're going to use it in part 2, though, so I'm going to keep it. So, yeah, we got to do the parsing. So how do we parse around? Well, we might have some, we want to split on a comma, basically, and we're going to build this. So we're going to say let mute this equals round, where everything starts out as 0. Okay, and then we're going to return this at the end, and we're going to say for part in value dot split comma. That should be enough, right? Okay, so then for every part, we need to trim it. So let part equal part. Actually, we can trim it and then split on the space is what we can do. So we can say let n and kind equal part dot trim dot split once. Add a space. Unwrap that. Not unzip. So we should get a string and a string. So then we'll do a match. Kind. Red. Actually, we might as well parse the n. So let n equal n dot parse. It'll figure out the type. If I do an unwrap here, if it's red, we're going to say this dot red plus equal n. And then we'll say everything else is unreachable. Big claim, right? All right. It didn't know the type. Okay, so we'll just say parse it as a U32. Okay. I think that's it. So let's just try the test. Whew. Let's run it. First try. Look at that. All right. Do I dare get my puzzle input and try it out? I think I do dare. This always goes well, doesn't it? So, yeah, this never fails, right? Right? You don't doubt me, do you, chat? We have 100 games. So, I need in main to put a slot for day 2 part 1. And in day 2 part 1, we're taking the day 2 input and running day 2 part 1 and printing the answer. And then we are going to close that. I'm going to run day 2 part 1 and get the answer. It is 2,679. And we are putting in the answer and submitting it. Easy. Yes. All right. Continue to part 2. The elf says they're stopped producing snow because they aren't getting any water. He isn't sure why the water stopped. However, he can show you how to get to the water source to check it out for yourself. It's just up ahead. As you continue your walk, the elf poses a second question. In each game you played, what is the fewest number of cubes of each color that could have been in the bag to make the game possible? Again, consider the example games from earlier. In game 1, the game could have been played with as few as 4 red, 2 green, 6 blue. That's true. So it's taking all the rounds and finding the largest of each color. Yes. And then the power of a set of cubes is equal to the numbers of red, green, and blue multiplied together. The power of the minimum set of cubes in game 1 is 48. In games 2 to 5, it was 12, 15, 60, 630, 36. Adding up these 5 powers produces a sum 2,286. So that is literally what we want to expect in our unit test for part 2. I'm just put the answer there because we're taking the same input again and saying we expect that number for part 2. Okay, there is no part 2. Let's make it. So part 2, let's just have it do the same thing as part 1 for now so that I can show that the test fails. All right. So now let's make the test pass. So day 2. So again, so right now we're not filtering by the games that were possible. right? So we're considering all 5 games. And instead we're finding the power of the smallest possible, the fewest number of cubes of each color, right? So what names do I want to do for this? So it's not a filter map, it's just a map. We're doing a from this time, right? It is always okay. And then we are mapping the game's power. All right. So we don't have a power. Let's do the power first since that's the easiest one. Okay, the power of the game is the multiplication of the red, green, and blue, the largest in each round, right? So we have to take like the largest red, largest green, largest blue. So this actually isn't the easiest part. This is the hardest part. That's fine. So it's going to be game. Actually, can I just can I could I have made that a self? I'll try that later. Let's just focus on one thing at once, right? It's going to be rounds dot. Um, we're going to essentially reduce, or we're gonna into iterate, and then we're going to fold it, right? The initial will be all zeros because we're finding the largest, right? Why don't I just make the like a round empty, and then the function will be given the largest, and then we're gonna get a round. We're gonna get the largest, like a the the largest red, green, and blue, right? And then we're gonna take the power of that round. So that means round has got to have a power. This is the one I thought would be the easiest, right? Power. Uh, we can consume it at this point, right? This is a U32. Um, this is simply self.red times self.green times self.blue. Okay. So we need an empty though. So empty. Fill in. Save. All of these go to 0. Actually, I had that in here, so this should just been round empty. There we go. So here it's going to be round. We get 2 things, right? Largest and then like the next. So here it's going to be the larger of the 2. So it's going to be largest red, max next red. And then that's what I'm going to put for green and blue. Only change the red to green and blue. So that's green and that's blue, right? I think that's it. Oh, we still haven't done parsing. We haven't done the game from. So that's like try from, only we're not filtering. So impl from string or game. Hey there, gnarly quack. Natalia Bumpo, hello. You should look at reduce rather than fold. I wanted fold. Actually, you're right. I used reduce before, right? I didn't need to have fold, did I? Okay, thank you. You are correct. Reduce is easier, right? Um, but reduce. Wait. Well, the problem with reduce was that you have an option, right? Reduce is just a wrapper around fold. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me think about this. These are hard for me to think about sometimes. You have an accumulator and an element. The first element is the initial. Right. Okay. So yeah, that's correct. So I can do. So that's just it's the there is a first one, right? The problem here, I think, is that we're gonna get an option, not So I have to do an unwrap. Otherwise, we're gonna have a problem there. Okay. Yeah. Why is this a problem? Wait, what? It doesn't like me implementing from if I implement try from? I guess not. Then we're gonna do like I guess that's unfortunate. So if you implement from, you can't implement try from? Yeah, option because of the empty area case. Yeah, it took me a little bit to realize that. But yeah, you're right. Reduce is better. Um, so really, I was sort of abusing the type system. It's really not try from, is it? It's why don't we just call it what it is? Filter map game legal or something. Actually, why don't we just parse it and then it's we'll just say legal filter. I can't think of multiple things at once. Sometimes I have to write them out as different steps. So like let game equal game from line, right? And then um, if game dot legal, then sum game dot id, else none, right? So now that I've written that out, how do I simplify this? It would be actually that's probably good enough, right? I just have to have the definition of legal. So yeah, don't I just want to turn this implementation into that implementation and drop this and then take this out and call this the legal thing? So this should be is legal. It's legal. If self.rounds.iter any round impossible, then it's well, it's all, it's none, right? Or not all. Not any impossible. That's it, right? Okay, and then this just always constructs a game. Um, and then Yeah, I was trying to be smart here. This should just do an unwrap. Cause we're not checking for errors. Why check for errors? Who would check? Who would be silly enough to check for errors? It does not like it to be an iterator. Oh, um, this would just be dot power. And power is should just be a self. There we go. So make sure I didn't. I changed a bunch of stuff. Oh no, I have an error still. Because we have an into iterator. Because probably because of the dereferencing here, right? It's because of these references, right? Um, do I have to like interior that and exterior? What a pain in the butt. Do I have to like do this crap? I guess I do. What? Oh, it wants me to make a reference? Okay. Well, we can't do that, so we're gonna always make a new one. How do I do that? Um, I can't do reduce then. I gotta make this fold again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Who was it that told me to do this? Nathaniel Bumpo. I'm sorry. We're gonna have to make that fold again. Because now it's owned. I'm sorry. Don't know how to do that with reduce. Why did it not like that? Wait. Oh, because yeah. Okay. Those didn't need to be dereferences. Fold. Wait, this fold returns an op. Oh no, fold always returns a boolean. Yes, and that's fine. We don't need to unwrap it. It's always at least nothing. Okay, so then we still have one warning because I would never use it. Hold on. This is day 2. Oh wait, did day 1 and day no? I did. Didn't I use day? Didn't I use the ID in day? Oh, I did. I looked at it directly, so I didn't need an ID function. Okay, make sure I didn't break uh, the unit tests. Great. So, actually, that's the first time I got the second one to pass, right? Oh, because I'm on day 1. I'm a fool. Let's close day 1 because that's confusing me. Day 2. Make sure I didn't break part 1. Okay, let's try part 2. It's success. Great. So then let's go to main and then plug in part 2. So here's the part where, like, if I was a little bit more clever, I wouldn't have to be manually typing this stuff. Maybe with a macro. A macro would probably be a great idea, right? Because this one goes to the part number, I mean the day number, and this second number goes to the part number, right? The first one goes here and here. The second number goes here. Otherwise, it's exactly the same, right? So I could have done this with a macro. Okay, so hopefully this is the right answer. Copy. paste, submit, easy. Yes. Now, we did it in 51 minutes, starting 13 or so minutes late, right? So how did we do? We probably did really badly. Uh how do I get to my personal stats? I forget how to do this. Um it's like where was it? Was it from stats? You can. I thought there was like a personal stats. Was it? Was it on the leaderboard? Personal times. Here we go. Yeah, as expected. Cause that means that either either yeah. So 15 minutes was a real handicap then. A lot of people got it faster than me. So interestingly, our rank went down for part 2. So what does that tell us? That I was slower for part 2 than other people who went from part 1 to part 2 right away? Maybe because I was reading? My reading speed, or really I was just slower? I didn't think I was that much slower doing the part 2 work. I am surprised. Some people implement part 1 by calculating the max of each game. The max of each game. Oh, and then just discarding it. And then they got part 2 quicker. Just by cuz you want the max. Well, but it's the internal maximums, right? It's the maximums like not of each round, but across rounds. Okay. Huh. Anyway, that was fun. Now, should I do a post-mortem? How badly did I implement stuff? Let's look at my day 1. Let's criticize it. So, we have part 1, part 2. My first and last digit. First and last digit might be words. So, these we could I probably should have done like the extraction of the digits separate from the combining, right? So it would have been nicer to have a combined digits first, second, right? Because separation of concerns, right? This should have just been first, and this should have been second, right? And then it's fine to have separate functions here because they fit into the map just fine, but this times 10 plus, we could separate that out, right? So we could do basically combine digits of first digit, last digit. Actually, why am I just let's do a comma like that, and then this is the only way that in which this is different is that we're calling a different function on the inside. I go from 2500 to 1500. So I went the opposite way, Betzig. So how did you get faster in part 2 and I got slower, Betzig? Did is it do you think Nathaniel Bumpo's correct in that you did part 1 in a way that facilitated part 2 getting an answer easier? I did take a long time. Look at that. I took like 17 minutes. I don't know. Maybe I just talked too much. So, how else should I criticize my work here? First digit, last digit. The difference is that there's a reverse in there. There is some common code in here, though, right? So the CC is numeric. Can't that just be char is numeric? Maybe not. Oh, it's doing two things actually. It's doing a deref and calling is numeric. All right. So, but I don't that repetition sort of bugs me. So ultimately, the only difference is whether or not we construct a iterator reversing. I think that's fine. So then let's criticize the second half of this. Find the digit might be words. Well, parse characters digit, we already talked about that. We could have just done the 2-digit radix 10, but I was doing it a more old school approach, which is fine. It's just a single line. Hey there, Kamoon. Senkamoon. Day 1 is nice. I'm looking at day 1, yes. RS is Rust. Yeah, this is a Rust implementation. So I'm just criticizing my own solution. So I'm late for day 1. We're on day 2. So I did day 1 tonight. So the time is above 24 hours because it took me a day to even start. This is used in part 2 of day 1 where we're looking for either a number or a word that represents a digit. If it's a number, it's handled here because we just look at the characters, we enumerate them, we find the first one that's numeric, we parse it as a digit, and we combine it with its position. We're chaining that with this one looks for the words that represent the digits, and it finds it basically for every one of these words, it tries to find it, and if it can find it, it maps the position to combine the position with the actual interpretation of that word, right? So the chain just says, in addition to looking for it as a word, also look for it as a digit, and then we get a whole bunch of possible solutions, and we reduce it to the solution where the position is the leftmost. Now, could this have been done better? Probably. Does chat want to critique me here? 48 is bad, no magic numbers? Bad. Magic number bad. No, we're not doing U32 from B0. That's crazy. No, everyone knows 48 is the ASCII for the 0 character. Just like we don't say that A is 10 like any other way than just saying it's 10. B is 11, C is 12. Those are like but I'm only saying this because I'm old school and I do low level development. Like I'm I'm the type of person who doesn't like C++ reinterpret cast and static cast. I still use C style casts because I just kind of laugh and chuckle at how needless some of the like convolutions are to like be dogmatic about these things. Anyway, enough. Let's criticize how I did this. I mean, I did it in like a functional way, right? It's sort of maybe this should have been its own function. This should have been like find first digit or something. In fact, didn't I do this up here? Um, First digit. Couldn't I have used per first digit? Char 2-digit. Is there a char 2-digit? Yeah, except for it gives me an option, and yeah, that's what I had before. But like why I don't need to do the unwrap. I know that it's we've already determined that it is numeric, right? This is just like an old school way that if we know we know it's numeric, I'm just working around the type system saying I know it's a digit already. It just happens to be an ASCII, so subtract the bias, correct the type, and unbias it. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. We'll be good. I'm, maybe yeah, I am sort of abusing the type system because it's not just any character. It's a character that we already know is numeric. How about if we just how about here? I'll pacify all the critics by saying parse numeric char as digit, and then we'll say that this is a numeric char, right? And a so you have to say struct, right? And then find its new. So this is a find map. Um, can I just make a constructor for my numeric char that uses is numeric? Yeah, because as long as I have something that can take a character and turn an option of self, yeah. So why don't I just do that? So find map numeric char from try from try from yeah. Won't try from work? There we go. I just have to implement that. Pull try from char or numeric char. Here we're fixing we're pacifying the type system, right? We're leveraging the type system. So this is if value is numeric, then we're returning a self value or some self value, else none. Oh, it's a result though. Shoot. Then let's not do try from. We'll just do impull numeric, and this is I don't know. I don't want to use from. I want to say like parse. There we go. No, parse is not a good name either. This should just be an option self. What's a good word here? Like it's not try and fail. It's like it either is numeric or it's not. So like check or something or I can't think of a good word. Maybe in the context it'll make sense if I think of the right word here. Where was I? Completely forgot where. Oh yeah, line characters find map numeric char. Um, can't think of another word other than try from. I hate this, but I'm gonna look at the thesaurus. What's another word for um try? Not true. Try. Shot. Bid. Mm, that didn't work. That didn't help. Do or do not, there is no try. Spent an hour yesterday to change find to our find. Could you not have added the number to the digit words like 1122 and done it in one pass? Oh right, instead of using this chain here? I guess because we're leveraging is numeric. But yeah, you're right. I could have done it with that. Yeah, that's a good idea. Try and time both. I'm not really interested in timing both tonight, but you're welcome to do it yourself. Sorry, I don't mean to be like blunt, but yeah, I'm just not feeling like timing stuff this time. Um, well, I'm just gonna call it parse, even though it's technically overloaded. Ah, right. We changed that. It had to be numeric char. Actually, then we could why don't we just do a from, since we can make a claim that it's actually, if we're changing the type, why don't I just turn it into a damn number to begin with? Yeah, why do this in the first place? Why don't we just do the is digit or two digit? Yeah, like what Bedseg wrote. Find map and just do a two digit 10 here. Thing it has to be a function object because we have to actually pass in another argument, right? Let's get rid of this then. Yeah, I don't need this. Yeah, then we don't need this at all. Yep. I realized my mistake all along was that I should not have been so lazy. Yeah, find map works. Yeah, because we only want the first one. Filter map if we wanted all of them, and then we could pick which one, right? Uh, okay, but we did use it in two other places, so I have to think about this. I think again this would be a find map, right? And this would be a find map C dot two digit 10 um dot map again, right? And we are using the position this time, and then that goes away. I messed up something. Not enough parentheses. All right, and then one more time. Yeah, see, it's now a fine map. So, yeah. So, shouldn't have used the minus 48 thing anyway, because the numeric kind of does this for us. It's just, well, the 2-digit does it for us. It does both the job of checking if it's numeric and also giving us the number, which is what we want. We want to do both. I just don't like. I have a hard time whenever more than one thing is done at once. That's the problem, right? It's just this has to map the digit to this. Well, we need this part is the harder part, and then it's digit. There we go. All right. Run our test to make sure I didn't break anything. This is why tests are cool. I can just say, hey, run all the tests. Hey, look, they all pass. I didn't break anything. All right. Any more criticism of what I did here? Let's see. The fact that I could have just put the digits in here, 0 through 9, and not have this chain. I see it as just a trade-off. It'd be a larger table. It would be handled in here by find rather than doing a 2-digit at the cost of having a bigger table. Could I have done the reduce better? I don't know. Like, ultimately, we have to pick out the one with the smallest position, right? So we either have to do this reduction or we'd have to sort it and take the first one. Uh, is there a map reduce? No. Oh, I see. I could have done a reduce gives me an option, right? Yeah, so I could have done a map here. Did the digit. And then I don't need this stuff. Right? So this is just discarding the position at the end because we don't need it. And then these are the same except for there's R find and then there's a reverse. That's the only difference. Oh, there's also, because we reversed, we had to reverse before enumerating, so I had to reverse the position also, which is a little clumsy. Yeah. Let me see if chat had anything else to say. So we got rid of the 48, which is a bad, the no magic number. We used the 2-digit instead. Yes. Did substrings of the original string walking by one from the origin, then check the string rotated started by the number string? Yeah, you did a lower level, probably more efficient way of doing it than I did. I did a higher level approach. Uh, Shake your head, American time zones. Just woke up. Yeah, sorry. If you want to compete on the leaderboards, it's best to be, I guess, in Europe, right? Because around midnight, it's in the morning in Europe, midnight Eastern time. I don't know. I'm not very good with time zones. Okay, criticize. Let's criticize day two. What did I do wrong in day two? So we have the round. We have round is impossible. That's true. Empty. There's an empty round. Power is that. We have a from. This is where we did the parsing. We did this by building around by. So this actually is pretty lenient. If we had like one red, two red, we end up with three red. Um, but I think that's okay because the input wasn't going to have anything illegal like that. Game is ID and a bunch of rounds. Game is legal if there are no rounds that are impossible. The power is where we take the maximum internal maximums of red, green, and blue, and we take that and power that. Here's the parsing for the game. We split on the comma or the colon, then we strip off the game prefix. We parse and unwrap it to get the ID. Split on semicolon, map it through the round from, collect it as a vector, and there we go. Actually, now that I'm doing this, do I need this vec anymore? No, I don't. I think I had that in there because I had some filter after that, and it couldn't figure out the type through that. Cool. So then that's even better. So part one is take the lines and we do a filter map where we parse the game, we see if it's legal, then we get its ID. Otherwise, we filter it out and we get the sum of all the IDs of the games. Part two is we parse the games and we just compute the power, and that's the sum of the powers. I don't remember the part two of day two being a sum, though. Oh, there's a sum adding up. I don't even remember reading that part. I guess I just assumed that once we get them, we're adding them. Good thing that I was correct in my assumption. It could have been like multiply those numbers. Well, I guess we would have gotten the wrong answer for the example, and then I would have caught it at that point. Hey, look, did it under 100 lines. Not bad. I'm actually pretty happy about the day two. So I think I did day two better than I did day one, although I was slower. Kind of makes sense to me. I would be slower because I did it right, and I was faster with day one because I did it wrong. Do you just want to hard code the numbers in here? I kind of don't feel like it though. I kind of like keeping the chain. I kind of like the fact that I've had that chain idea. Although it makes it more complicated. We have to know that this internal type of a tuple with a position and a digit, and that we have to reduce and then map to get the digit back out of that. All right, well, we got to wait 22 and what are we going to do for 22 and a half hours, chat? This is the advent of code stream. We got to wait now for 22 hours. I guess I'll see you guys back in 22 hours, huh? Criticize yours? Actually, I'm going to see how fast people got the first day. 2 minutes 24 seconds. Do you suppose any of these people used AI to solve it? If they did, they would be like far out of like it would be like 15 seconds or something, I think. So So we probably didn't have anyone. Wait, hold on. That's both stars. So someone did it in 12 seconds. Okay, I think this person did an AI approach. You're trying while failing using Erlang? Yeah, I just didn't feel like combining the problem solving with struggling with a language that I didn't know yet. So here's the challenge. Separate the AI users from the non-AI users from this set. I'm gonna say this person's definitely using AI. I don't see how you'd solve it in 12 seconds. I'm gonna say this person actually did it legitimately because they donated to AoC. Who's gonna donate and then run an AI to cheat the system, right? So I'm gonna say that the 35 seconds was done legitimately. What do you guys think? So did this person score at all for the second thing? 640116. 640116. So yeah, they didn't even get the second star. So I think this person, like, I don't know, they got the top score for the first star and then they stopped. If it was legit, they would have gone on and done and have done part two. So this probably is legit, right? What did Bobo Quack get for the part one? Really? 36th? Okay, well that's still respectable, right? So I guess that's the median time was like a minute and a half. That's still pretty impressive. So he basically did only took one more minute to get part two. Okay, so that's I think that's legit. But who knows? Okay, what's part two? How does part two look? 37 seconds. I don't know. I have a hard time believing that that's legit because no one else was even in that league. So where they all start to converge is a minute. Yeah. These kind of actually kind of look like outliers too, but they did donate though. Not an anonymous user though. How did I have a hard time believing that you could do something in 37 seconds. How are we doing? We're trying to figure out which of these people used AI and which ones didn't. I'm done. You want to see my personal times? So I started about 14, 15 minutes late, so subtract 15 minutes from these. So I was slow as usual. I was just looking at this, like looking at day one. Someone did part one in 12 seconds. I'm pretty sure they used AI to get that answer. And I was just debating with myself if Dominic also used AI, and I was thinking yes, but then they're not an anonymous user. So maybe they did legitimately get it in 37 seconds. I don't know. I'm on the fence though because they're not a they didn't donate to AoC. Well, let's see. Did they get part two? Yes, they did. They did have a time advantage by solving it a full minute and a half ahead of most other people. I'm inclined to think that they did do it legitimately and they were just really lucky in their approach for part one. No, this is the first star. So they did part one in 37 seconds, and then they had a minute and a half head start for everyone, and they didn't quite get the seconds. So I don't think that they used AI. I think that they were just really lucky on the first part, and a few people caught up to them and passed them for part 2. How do you process the question under a minute? So this is what I think. You guys, let me know what you think. This is how I think that those speed coders do it. At exactly midnight, they click and they immediately go to the bottom and they grab this and they run it through a bunch of pre-constructed programs and they try to see like which program like gets an answer that's like parses something, and like they probably have like, I don't know, probably like dozens of programs that try to study what the input looks like. And if they're lucky, they have a program that like parses out digits from names and then figures that out. And then they jump to that program and then they tweak it a little bit to make it actually produce the right answer. And then they grab they have probably have automation that has already pulled their own puzzle input and set it up for them to go like immediately. And at the moment that they tweak the code, they hit save and then they get their answer, and that also pushes back automatically back to the site. And that's how I imagine that someone would do it in 35 seconds. They auto pull input guaranteed, yeah. Probably auto posting the answer as well, I would say. Once they're confident that the answer is done, they probably just hit a button and it's immediately posted. They don't bother with like copy and then switch the window and paste and find the button to submit. They probably don't do any of that. That's my guess, is that they come into this prepared with dozens, if not hundreds, of small prototypical programs that are just studying the input to try to figure out like what class of problem it is. And then if they're really lucky, one of their programs actually gets close to the right answer. Like it's able to parse everything and get some reasonable value out. Your part 2 in day 1 was your part 1 plus 1. Oh, really? For the answer? What was mine? Part 2. Was that the one I was just looking at? 77607 versus 20. No, mine was way off. Yours was just plus 1? One can create a private room for AoC and invite people there. A private room? Yeah, I have a few private rooms. How do I see that again? Actually, do I need to do this off stream to make sure I don't leak anything? That's probably a good idea. Hold on. I'll do this off stream first. I think it's under settings, maybe. Oh, I'm not even logged in here. Well, that sucks. Hold on, let me just blank the window for a minute. Bloop, sorry. Yeah, it's not under settings. Oh, okay, it's on this one. So I'm in 4 leaderboards. So I'm on the Primogens leaderboard. One of my mods has a leaderboard, and then this person was another streamer. I forget her name, and I don't remember this one at all. Some other stream probably. Let's see if anyone on the Primogen has done it. Well, it looks like I'm 4th place on the Primogens. I don't think the Primogen himself has done it though, right? No, he has not done it yet. How about Endurance? Yeah, T-Bod T is usually like on point. Oh, good for you, Buff Siegel. You're 11th on your own leaderboard? You must have a lot of people, right, Betsig? You must have a lot of people. Didn't mean to laugh. I actually feel pretty good about that. I'm number 4 on the Primogens leaderboard. Yeah, they're. Oh, okay. She's actually doing. She's not streaming, but she's actually doing the admin of code. That's nice. I forget who's. This must be it's associated with that other streamer. It's maybe the same stream but a different person's leaderboard. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. Oh, Voik, I recognize that name. Oh, look, you can join my private leaderboard. View. Oh yeah, Bet's eggs on it. Look at that. Cool. Anyway, I guess we'll be back in about 22 hours. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming non-advent code stuff this weekend or not. I'm still kind of recovering from a cold, so that's why I haven't been streaming this week as much. I streamed like the day I started to feel sick, and I'm like, shoot, this sucks. I should not have done this, and I'm gonna feel worse. And I was right. And I didn't stream the rest of the week because I was recovering from the cold. You're pretty slow at this. I'm pretty slow too. I don't think. I think it's a different kind of coder who gets on these leaderboards. I think this is the global leaderboard of all, right? I think the people who get on the global leaderboard are the speed coders who have the recipes ready and they just do it in a different way than you and I would do it. So yeah. Anyway, is anyone else doing Advent Code tonight? Let's see. Where is X? Okay. I remember where is X rating where is X last year, so we're gonna do that this year. All right. Let's see where is X is. And if nothing else, I'll see you guys in about 22 and a half hours. All right. So take care. See you next time. Bye.